Hello and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host Bryan. We're going to continue on with this week's theme of edibles, exploring either band, artist, or song titles that have food-related elements in them. Today we're going to be checking on something from mfdoom's album Food. The song's called Rapp Snitch Knishes. That's just a fun thing to say, honestly. And I love the whole comic book angle. Not only do we have MF Doom, and he looks like Doom in the cover art, but we're also featuring Mr. Fantastik here. Just a very cool little crossover there. And, just the whole concept of food and music tend to go together really well. So I like his album title too. A lot of stuff to love right here. We haven't even gotten to the music yet. Let's dive in. See what MF Doom and Mr. Fantastik are bringing to the table today.
Yo, MF Doom,
Mr.
Fantastik,
Villain.
What up, nigga?
Ain't nothing, what's the word?
It's cracking, boy.
Same old shit, kid.
Man,
Day,
Rapp Snitches, man. Shit is bugged out, man. What the fuck, man?
You telling me?
Niggas running their mouth, telling everything.
Critical.
Rapp snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years. Rapp snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years. Tight profile, low, like 8 and paid in full. Attract heavy cash, cut the game centrifugal. Mr. Fantastik, long though like elastic. Got my life with twin Glocks that's made out of plastic. Can't stand a brown nose and nigga fake ass bastard. Admiring my style, tall bust in Manhattan, plotting, playing the quickest. My flow's the sickest, my hoes be the thickest. My dro, the stickiest. Street nigga, stamped and bona fide. When beef jump, niggas come get me cause they know I ride. True to the ski mask, New York's my origin. Play a fake gangster like an old accordion. According to him, when
like
the
how
D's
even though
rushed
it's
in,
rapped,
complication from the wild testimony
the
was
vocal
thin.
pitches kind of line up with the chord progressions going on in the
Lame rap
guitars.
snitch nigga even told on the Mexican. Rapp snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years. Rapp snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up
Great
for years.
bass tones, nice
to this
beat.
shit. Fools dare care. Everybody wanna rule the world with tears for fear. Yeah, tell it on the mountain hill. Running up their mouth bill. Everybody doubting still. Informer, keep it up and get tested. Pop through your bubble vest or double-breasted. He keep a lab down south in the Little Beast. So much heat you would've thought it was the Middle East. A little grease.
Interesting. I wonder what was special about that line. They decided to drop the guitars out for it.
Spitting on enemies, get the steel for 10 men with no brains but gum flap. He said his gun clapped, then he fled after one slap. Son, shut your trap, save it for the bitches. Delicious, Rapp Snitch Knishes.
You know what I'm saying? It's
terrible.
Crazy, man. I'm just analyzing this whole game. It's just bugged out, man. Niggas snitching, telling on their own self.
It's a horror.
Fuck around, gonna get everybody bag, man.
Atrocity.
Fuck around, get your mama bag, man. You know your grandmama used to be bootlegging, fake hustling, nigga.
All right, that was fun. As usual, when it comes to hip-hop music, this musical analysis segment is going to be rather light, and I'm probably going to stumble through the lyrical analysis because, dude, rappers, man, wordsmiths, absolutely just usually goes right over my head with the wordplay and all of the intricate elements that go into the poetry of it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What's going on in the song? I want to start with atmosphere first before we dive into what the instruments are doing. I really like how this all works. It kicks off with the two rappers just kind of, just talking to each other. Like, hey, what's up? Mr. Fantastik gets introduced. He's like, hey, I'm here. And it feels very impromptu. It probably isn't, but it does. It sets the stage for how this entire song is going to be. And you can especially feel this at the outro of the track, which is once again just the two of them talking casually, kind of bouncing off of one another. The intro and the outro to this both feel kind of improvised, as if they had written their lines and they went and recorded them and all that, and they kind of had a general vibe for what the intro and outro should be, but didn't specifically script those down to the specific words, and just kind of felt it out and played off of each other while in the studio. This feeling of, laid back, chill, just two people getting together and hashing out a pretty cool song is also prevalent throughout the entirety of the song. When I listen to them rapping across the verses, when I feel the chorus come back in, none of this really feels like it has a lot of bite or weight or stakes to it. It's just a couple of people coming out here and throwing down some bars. And when you listen to the music, that also elevates this feeling. We have the two guitars, we have the bass and the drums, and honestly, all of this is a pretty light, laid back, chill feeling. There's not a lot going on that feels intense or anything like that. And it just adds to this feeling of two people just like meeting up at a Knish shop, talking to each other like, hey, this is going on. The other guy's like, hey, this is going on. But instead of just having a conversation, they're rapping to each other. They're taking turns talking about whatever they're talking about. Just over some food. The music is light, low stakes. The delivery is light, low stakes. And it just feels very calm and relaxing and chill, like people just hanging out. And I like how it is set from beat one, and it is continued to be expanded upon throughout the instrumentation, and they finish the song on this very light-hearted manner as well. Now, on the topic of the music, like I said, this all creates a very laid-back sound, and we have the drums and the bass in the center of the mix, also in the center of the composition. They're the heartbeat to everything. They're the foundation for the entire song. They create the groove, but the bass also gives us some harmonic information as well. It's the bass's job to give us these moving ideas that are rhythmically charged and play along with what the drum's doing, while also providing some of that harmonic movement and giving us the basis of the chord foundation going through the song. The two of these instruments together is the rhythm section. Just like in jazz, they are the core part of the music. They keep everything going. Without these two instruments, the song falls apart. It is nice, it is laid back, it's very groovy. The guitars that exist on the outside of this are very bright, very twinkly, very light. There's a shimmering element to them. They have a little bit of a harsher sound to them, nothing like the rounded off bass tone, but musically it comes off as very light and friendly and low stakes and just generally comfortable. And I think these guitars are really integral to keeping the sound, the vibe of the atmosphere going throughout. I think without it, in fact, there are a couple of times when the guitars cut out and we just have the vocals and the bass and the drums. It's still laid back, but it's lost that jovial element. It's lost the funness. It's sort of more of a hollow sound at that point. Not antagonistic, but not necessarily fun or light. It's sort of a neutral tone without it. It provides the levity for the song that allows it to continue to feel like a couple of people just hanging out and chatting. On top of all this, of course, we have the vocalists, and they're just going off, and I love the rhythmic switch ups, the pulse and cadence changes. And I even mentioned that I felt like, at least in the first verse, that the pitches of the rapping kind of changed, not in an intentional way to create harmony, but that when the chord progression felt like it rose, when the root tone rose in pitch, the vocals also came up in pitch. Maybe not perfectly in tune with the harmonic shifts, but it still had a similar flow and outline to what the chordal idea was. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I thought it added a really nice bit of movement and contrast to the vocals as far as timbre and pitch go, because obviously the vocals are rhythmically constantly in contrast. So it just adds an extra layer of dynamics for the vocalists, and I feel like that's a really nice touch to what's going on with all of this. And that's about it on the musical side. As far as the music goes, there isn't much structure to it. What we get at the beginning is what we get in the middle, is what we get at the end. There are a couple of places where we remove some layers for effect, but they come right back in not too long after. So there's not much else to touch on here. I guess it's time to hit the lyrics. Let's see how I do with this. All right. Lyrically, I got a handle on it. I'm not going to say I get it or have a strong grasp, but I'm picking up the gist of it thanks to some of the annotations on Genius, but also thanks to some of the more straightforward lyrics in here. The chorus, I think, pretty much sums everything up, and it is what occurs first after the two rappers come in and sort of introduce each other, and it's kind of like, chatting a little bit, hey, what's up? He's, the stuff's bugging me right here, so, let's talk about it. The chorus comes in and it says, Rapp snitches telling all their business, sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. So he's talking about people who are rappers who document their crimes in their music, and their lyrics can be pulled up in court later when they get caught for their crimes. Basically calling them kind of dumb, that they're snitching on not just themselves, but everyone they're associated with too. It's just bad business to have these kind of people around. He says you can get the whole label sent up for years. It's, like I said, right from the start, I get this. This part's very straightforward. There's a lot of probably references to maybe specific court cases throughout this track. I don't get most of those. The other half of this track, though, is pretty much a consistent looking down upon fake gangsters, people who put up the gangster persona in their music, but actually don't do that kind of stuff in real life. There's quite a few lines that are kind of talking down towards those type of folk. I don't know if I want to go through all of this because a lot of it just kind of lines up into one of those two ideas, but there are some really great lines in here that I do want to touch on. Where is that one? Oh, yeah. He says you can play a fake gangster like an old accordion. According to him, when the D's rushed in, complication from the wire, testimony was thin. Caused his man to go up north, the ball hit him again. Just the start of this says play him like an old accordion, the instrument, then says according to him, but of course dropping the G, so it's just according to him, which is pretty close to accordion. Accordion, according to him. Very cool wordplay right there. Once again, though, talking about, the fake gangsters, how they actually go out and do this kind of stuff, and some rappers don't. And he basically says that they would fold like an accordion if they were ever in the same situation that he was. And he says that, complication from the wire, that they were wiretapped, they got stuff on documented, whether it is a real wiretap or the music that they're throwing these lyrics down on. It ends up being a complication for these people, and it causes his man to go up north and the ball hits him again. So, people around him start trying to flee. They end up getting in trouble for that. He says the lame rap snitch even told on the Mexican. So bringing up the idea that not only are they going to incriminate themselves, they're going to incriminate other people, maybe as a retaliatory element. Maybe it's just the people who's surrounded them. So, yeah, interesting angle. I don't usually have any lyrics like this at all on the channel, but I think it's an interesting perspective to have on something like this, especially with when did this come out? 2004. So yeah, way before what I was about to reference, which was Tekashi 6ix9ine's whole court thing. That's the only like situation I could think that was anything like this. Verse 2 though has mfdoom coming in, and what was this line that I thought was really great? All right, here it is. It's at the end of the second verse. He's talking once again about fake gangsters. And he says, like sitting on 23s to get the squealers grinning, hitting on many trees, feel real linen, spitting on enemies, get the steel for the Tin Man. Now we have sitting and grinning and hitting and spitting all kind of giving us this interline rhyming going on. But then we shift over to get the steel for the Tin Man, which is very cool because this is going to begin a Wizard of Oz thing going on in the next couple of lines. First of all, we have the Tin Man who has no heart. So he said, I'm spitting on the enemies, people who don't have the heart in this game. He says, I'm going to get the steel for the Tin Men, steel being more powerful than tin, but also introducing the Tin Man from not Alice in Wonderland, from Wizard of Oz. The next line says, they have no brain, but their gums flap. So bringing up their intelligence while moving over to the cowardly lion? No, the straw man, the scarecrow. He had no brains. Now, also we have gum flap right here. No brains, but gum flap. He said his gun clap, then he fled after one slap. So we have gum flap, gun clap, one slap, then shut your trap. Very cool, like interline rhyming going on here. But the other guy running away after one shot is fired is cowardness, the lion from Wizard of Oz. Just like all of these little things going on in these 3 lines, just phenomenal stuff. And then he ends that after saying shut your trap with delicious Rapp Snitch Knishes, and bringing it all full circle, bringing it back to these 2 people just talking over, a plate of food. Just meeting out in a restaurant, talking about how much they hate this type of person over a meal. And of course, the outro is just the 2 of them talking back and forth. So yeah, very cool stuff going on here. And as usual, a lot of it goes right over my head. But I do have a strong appreciation for the things I do get out of it. And I think that this is one of the few cases where I tend to find a really strong correlation between the musical vibe and the lyrical vibe. And I think it's the synergy there just elevates everything about this song. Very cool stuff overall. These are just my thoughts though on mfdoom and Mr. Fantastik's Rapp Snitch Knishes. Let me know what you think of this. If you enjoyed it, if there's anything that stood out to you, anything you'd like to add on to what I said or correct me on. If you have any different opinions or perspective on this track, please put all of that and any other thoughts you have down into the comment section. Above that, in the description box, you'll find a link to Linktree. It takes you here. You can find links to my music, ways to support the channel, a link to the Discord server, and so much more. Above that, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I greatly appreciate all 3 of those. That wraps it up for today, but I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC, as usual. Until next time, remember to be critical, not cynical, of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you choose to watch my videos.